let us go big. Because we have reached the end of the P's. We've actually been working on unplayed games beginning with letter P since like October. And I'm going to go through my list here and go over what I thought about them. We also kind of went astray a couple times because I bought a couple new games, so I'll cover those as well. So the first thing that we played back in October 2025 was Pandemic the board game. I honestly feel like this game was okay. It took me a little while to figure out how it worked. Like the tutorial wasn't great for people who had never played the game before, like had never played the physical game before. But, you know, overall, I would say it was okay. Like, I would consider playing it again, maybe. Yeah, I'd say that's how I feel about it. And I actually played it for 90 minutes initially, and I remember I was initially very frustrated, and then I kind of figured out how it worked, and I was like, okay, this is all right. It's all right. Next, we did a little detour for a Humble Bundle. We played a beat 'em up called Going Under. It was a very funny game. The design was funny. It was an unpaid intern that needs to clear monsters out of the basement that keep stealing office supplies. And it was very tongue-in-cheek about late-stage capitalism and etc. I think if I enjoyed beat-em-ups, I would have enjoyed this game. I am not a huge fan of games where you have to click a lot in timing and stuff like that. But overall, as a concept, if you like beat 'em ups, I would recommend, because it was kind of a cool 3D beat 'em up adventure kind of thing with a lot of humor. Next was Let's Revolution, which I've actually played since streaming it. I would put this at a higher tier. It's kind of a twist on Minesweeper. And it's a unique kind of puzzle game that I hadn't really seen anybody else do it before. Because unlike Minesweeper, where you can kind of click anywhere to see, you have a little character who's on the square, and so you can only go to squares that are nearby. And you have special moves that you only have so many of because of like energy and whatever that can kind of make a safe move. There are also a couple of different characters who have different play styles. Like some people are like just reveal everything. Some people are like reveal as few things as possible. Yeah, it's an interesting game. Simple but engaging. I felt like it was pretty quick to learn, but I played it for a while. So yeah, I'd say that was one of the better games of the past couple months. Following that, we did Paradise Killer, which was well reviewed, seemed very interesting, seemed well designed. Could not play it because of the first person view. And I think it was kind of at that point where I was like, anything that has a first person view, I think I have to just like not play because it will make me motion sick. But it's an open world detective game, which was very interesting. It's also like a supernatural weird setting. Like things are not normal. It's not our world. And yeah, just very interesting concept, but I could not continue. So that was unfortunate. Following that, we played Pawbarian, which was a chess roguelike, sort of. You had certain pieces that could move in chess like ways, but then they had like upgraded ones. And yeah, it was interesting. I played it for almost 3 hours. Um, but I don't think I've actually played it since. You can take a look, but yeah, I kind of played it for the 3 hours. Yeah, and then I was like, I feel like I've explored what I want to explore, and uninstalled it. So yeah, it was good, but then I felt like it kind of had an end point of, okay, well, I've played all the characters now, and it's not like a very big game. So there may have been more to it, and I just kind of lost patience with it, but is what it is. After that, we played Peak. I specifically utilized a recommended mod for third person view. I could not get past the tutorial. I tried for an hour. I tried like 3 times. Could not get past the tutorial level. And I was like, okay. Like I was trying to, I think my breaking point was I was trying to do the punch into the wall thing so that you could hang for a bit, and it just refused to do that. And I'm like, what is the point of this? I could do it while standing into a wall, but I couldn't do it when I actually needed to halfway up a wall with nothing under my feet. So I was like, what is the point of this object? It's extremely popular game. People really like it. If you like frustrating crap, like getting over it, or and you wanted to bring that joy with friends, maybe Peak is for you. It's not very expensive. They kind of optimized the price point to be like what people would pay, I guess. But yeah, I raged pretty hard. It was not fun. It was not fun. I honestly wouldn't recommend it. I don't know if maybe the mod for third person view is making it buggy. That's very possible. So, maybe my experience isn't everyone's experience, but I would at least say if you are a person who needs a third person view mod to play a game like this, just don't do it. It's There was at least one confirmed bug, and like I said, afterward I couldn't progress because I couldn't get the item to work. So that is the way it is. Um, After that, I played Peggle, a classic PopCap game, nearly 2 decades old. I had played it a long time ago on like PlayStation 3 or something like that. I don't know. On someone else's machine. And so I vaguely remembered how it worked. Again, I played it for like an hour. I liked playing with the unicorn character. I didn't so much like the following characters' power ups. And I just kind of got bored with it, I guess, which surprised me. I thought that I would really like it. So I don't know, kind of held up, I guess, but I probably never got super deep into it back then either. So, um, haha. And then after that, we had a detour again because a fresh Humble Bundle dropped, Devious Deck Builders 2. So I wanted to see if it was as good as the Devious Deck Builders original bundle. So we played a game called Breach Wanderers. Do I even remember anything about this game? Hold on, let me look at it for a second. That doesn't bode well. Breach Wanderers, Breach Wanderers, Breach Wanderers. It's way up here, way up here. Well, I didn't uninstall it. Uh, what was this game? What was this game? I'm getting old. I'm not remembering. Obviously it's a deck builder. Just looking at the screen caps. Uh, How did I play this game for 3 hours and have no memory of it? How is that possible? I guess I should have gone back and watched some of my videos. I oh oh uh I think this one was interesting because you built your entire deck beforehand, if I recall, and then only the people you faced were roguelike. Like, there was no deck building along the way, no drafting along the way. You essentially bring a constructed deck in, and then, yeah. So that was interesting. So if you like control and want a little bit less variance, I guess, I should revisit this because yeah, this was an interesting game. I'm like going through the Steam page like, so, oh yeah, this, and it looks like I only scratched the surface. Like there are characters I haven't played as yet. Yeah, I think I would recommend this. And it is roguelite rather than roguelike. There are unlocks, etc. So yeah, that's Reach Wanderers, I guess. Game. So I guess take it with a grain of salt about the fact that I completely forgot that this game existed. So I guess it's not amazing. But at the same time, when I'm looking at the pictures and being like, oh yeah, I did have a fun time playing this. So it's at that level, I guess. Following that, oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. Okay, I think I got it back. Maybe. Okay, great. I accidentally clicked something and then didn't have my list anymore. Then we had Deepest Chamber Resurrection. I do remember this one. Deepest Chamber Resurrection, I think if you like kind of the dark tone of Darkest Dungeon or something like that, this would really appeal. It is a party-based deck builder, which I don't like those as much as single ones because then when one of your characters dies, you lose access to, like, I think in this case it was a third of your cards, and it's like, no, if you're gonna do that, then. But something that was kind of nifty about Deepest Chamber Resurrection is I remember I lost, I think, two of the characters, and one of them had survived barely, and so I was like, all right, well, I'll press onward. Like, I'm not gonna just scoop, but we'll see how far I can get. And I beat a boss, and my two other people came back, which I was not expecting. I was like, oh, I have a chance. And they were like, this is the only time this will happen. Like, per run, you can only bring them back once. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting. So it kind of brought the name to life of Deepest Chamber Resurrection, right? But yeah, it had a dark tone that didn't super appeal to me. So, but if you like that kind of thing, I think it's a great game for that. So yeah, I think I would recommend it for people who like that kind of tone and like party-based deck builders, for sure. After that, we played Demonic Mahjong. I had never played Mahjong before. I did actually enjoy the gameplay aspects of it. I played this for about 90 minutes. I became a little bit uncomfortable with the waifus, the demonic waifus. I don't consider myself a huge prude. Like, you want to have cleavage and stuff in games, like, that's fine. It's part of the, like, it's okay. We're adults playing a game, but there were some of voice acting choices that were a bit much for me. But if you like that kind of thing, hey, that's a bonus for you. It's in there. The gameplay, I think, was pretty good. It didn't necessarily require that you knew what you were doing all the time. There were a couple of patterns that I just kind of learned and stuck to without knowing like all of the different patterns that I could do. And that seemed to work pretty well. Like I got like decently far without knowing very much about Mahjong. But I could tell that I was going to start hitting a wall where it's like, okay, I need to actually start learning some of this stuff. So I don't know. As a game to learn Mahjong for the first time might not be ideal, but I did play it for 90 minutes and like was winning games and stuff. So yeah. Following that, we did Evolings. It was part of the Devious Deck Builders too, but it wasn't really a deck builder. It was like a monster collector kind of, because you had you got to draft which monster you wanted to collect. They give you like 3 options, and they're like, who do you want to add to your party? And you pick one, and then they're in your party. And then they have abilities that you could pick at any time. So it wasn't really a deck builder. It was a roster builder, if you will. And it had like little RPG style fights. And it had a like map that you would often see on roguelike games where you get to pick where you're going to go next. And it'll, be an event or a fight or whatever. It was a cute little game, and I think it was pretty inexpensive as well, if I recall, if I look up Evolings. And I remember being like, oh, yeah, this makes sense for the price. Oh my god. That's Breach Wanderers talking. Yeah, Evolings is only $5. So, yeah. I would say that it's worth the $5. Even more so if you get it on sale. If you like that kind of game. But it was not a deck builder, so I thought it was an odd inclusion in the bundle, but whatever. And after that, we were back. No, we were not back yet. We were almost back. I can't believe I almost skipped this one. Heretic's Fork. I played this game the most out of any of the games that I played this section. Heretic's Fork. It was from the Devious Deck Builders 2 bundle. It was a deck builder and tower defense fusion. And it rubbed a spot in my brain that I was like, I must play this all the time now. How many hours do I have into this now? Heretic's Fork. So many hours. It is so much. Let me find it. And obviously, maybe not obviously, but it has, you're basically like working for hell and torturing souls. I have put 33 hours into this game. Heretic's Fork. I've put 33 hours into it. And I started playing it in December of 2025. So, yeah, in 3 months I put in 33 hours. So if that gives you a little bit of a idea. It's kind of crazy. I honestly feel like if I were to give some criticism for this game, the unlocks are not necessarily great. There are some unlocks that kind of feel like traps. They aren't as good as some of like the base game things. And then the game is presenting you with those cards rather than having a smaller card pool to pull from that has better quality cards. But maybe that's part of the point, to ramp up the difficulty. I don't know. I have not been able to progress on the Ascension mode, I don't think. Pretty sure every time I've tried to do level 1 Ascension instead of 0, which is the base, I have died. So there's definitely more to explore. But I did... When was the last time I played this? The last time I played this was mid-January. So those 33 hours were in the course of a month. And then I guess I kind of extinguished on it because I couldn't progress any further. I also sort of beat the main game story. There isn't much of a story, but I beat it. And then I guess I was done with it after that. But I definitely got my money's worth out of the game. It was a very unique design. Maybe a little bit buggy in spots because there were some parts where the monsters would slow down if there were too many of them on screen, but like just a very, very interesting game. I really liked this game. I would be interested in playing like a sequel or another one that is kind of similar to that. The tower defense deck builder is a cool genre. And then after that, we went back to the P's list. So then we played Peglin. That was a kind of pachinko game like Peggle. And it's a roguelike battler, so the better you shoot, the more damage you do. And it's also kind of a deck builder because the balls that you get kind of go into your deck, if you will. They have different properties. So kind of a deck builder in that way. I played it for a couple hours, and it was good, and I'd be interested in revisiting it. Following that, I played Pikuniku, which is a puzzler adventure. I stopped it after about 90 minutes because it was starting to get some platforming elements that I found a little bit frustrating, but it was interesting enough that I was like, oh, maybe I'll play this with the boyfriend at some point. Like, it just seemed interesting. After that, we played Pilgrims. Pilgrims was a game that was designed for phone. I hated it. I only played it for 15 minutes. Would not recommend. It was very annoying that you always had to put yourself into the scene. It's like, just have him be in the scene. I'm going to be doing that every time. And it was annoying that there was a guy who you needed to make laugh twice, and if you left and then came back, he had lost progress. And I was like, okay, so every time I'm going to have to do the steps to do the one thing to make him laugh, and then the experiment as well, and then go back. And I was just like, I have no interest in doing this. Nope. Hard no, hard pass, do not get. Following that, we played No Sleep for Kaname Date, which was a game that I got for Christmas. It has aspects of the Zero Escape series, despite being an AI Somnium Files side story. And played it for, I think I played it for, how long did I play it for? 3 hours? Something like that. And I want to go back and do it, but I haven't for some reason. I'm not sure why I haven't gone back. I should, because it was good. It was quite good. Yeah. It combines a lot of the good elements of both games. So if you're a fan of Uchikoshi, yeah, it seems good. Following that, I bought yet another Humble Bundle. This is why the P's took 4 months, is because I kept doing side quests. I bought yet another Humble Bundle, and I played I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. It's an RPG about growing up on an alien planet. It is technically also a deck builder, but the deck building is almost a backseat. It's much more almost visual novel-y RPG, and then you have sort of challenges that affect, where you go in the story. Like, if you're successful, then you studied, and yay, you leveled up. The lore in this game, very intriguing. I would recommend it. Yeah, the Humble Bundle was called Award Nominees. Yeah, it deserved. It deserved, for sure. After that, I played Planet TD. It was a cheap little tower defense game. I don't like playing tower defense games. It has to have a twist of some kind to keep my interest. Just did not care for it. If you like tower defense games, this is a stripped back kind of simple version. It's an inexpensive game. So yeah, if you like that kind of thing, there wasn't anything wrong with it. I just got bored because I don't really like tower defense. And then we played Pony Island. It was episode 200. I've played 200 games in my Steam library at this point. And I loved Inscription. I loved the Hex. Honestly, I really liked Pony Island as well, but the fact that it didn't have accessibility features to turn off the flashing, I could not continue. And that broke my heart because I liked the tone, the story, this, creeping dread kind of horror thing. I liked the gameplay of the auto runner as well as the gameplay of the programming puzzles. Like, it's so good, but I could not do it. My brain could not do it. And I'm so glad that, in future installments, like Inscription had accessibility settings. That was a game that came out later. It had accessibility settings. You could turn off the flashing. And so I could enjoy that game to the fullest. So, Pony Island was made earlier. It just kind of really goes to show how, more and more games and developers are like thinking about these things and thinking, how can I have as many people enjoy the game as possible? And I really appreciate that very much. After that, I played Popup Dungeon. It was an earlier game by the creators of Aces and Adventures. Aces and Adventures is a deck builder in terms of kind of similar to the other one, the one that started with B that I was talking about earlier, where you build a constructed deck and you bring it with you into the game. But it is not really roguelike. It's a scripted thing. So that's Aces and Adventures. Pop-Up Dungeon is a customizable tabletop style RPG. That's what it is. I did not like the controls for it. I would rather play tabletop with friends in a setting like that, like in real life. But, if you don't have friends, maybe it could be good for you. If it's something that you can kind of get used to the interface. I didn't like how whenever somebody was taking a move, the camera goes whoop, and everything was kind of just moving a little bit all the time. I didn't like it. So I guess it was more the bells and whistles that I didn't care for rather than the core gameplay itself. I'm very picky, unfortunately. My brain gets tired very easily. I get overstimulated very easily. So I'm a little bit of a connoisseur, I guess, of that kind of content. Okay. After that, we played Potion Craft. This is another game that I would say scores pretty highly. I will say though, I did almost quit this game. I've been playing it outside of the stream, and I almost quit because you're a shopkeep, so there's money involved, right? I've been waiting for this guy to come and sell me a thing, and he wasn't coming, and somebody else came in and was like, hey, I have stuff for sale. And I was like, okay, I'll buy that stuff. Very next person who comes in was the guy I was waiting for, and I no longer had the money to buy the thing. But you can go back to earlier save states. It does save your last couple of saves. So I was able to go back and fix it. So I continued on. But anyway, Potion Craft is a game where you're growing herbs in your backyard, and then you come and mix them together, and there's a map, and you have your little potion icon, and when you put your plants into the cauldron and stir, it'll move in a certain way, and it might like move to the right, or move to the left, or like squiggly, or go diagonal, depending on what the plant is. And you have to get the little potion bottle icon over a part of the map that is the potion that you want to brew. Like you want to build fire potion. Then you get it over to the little fire potion part, and then you brew it, and then there's a shop front, and you can sell it. and you're trying to expand your abilities of the different kinds of potions that you can make, and different plants you can grow, and crystals and stuff that you can grow in order to make better and awesomer potions. And that's it. It's very cozy. The one flaw that I would say about this game, and it kind of points back to what I was talking about at the beginning, is you cannot buy things at will. This game would be perfect if you could go outside of your shop into the town and have storefronts where people are selling things and you can buy them at any time. I do not like having to wait 7 in-game days or whatever for a guy to come back and sell me a thing that I was ready to buy 5 days ago. You know what I mean? Like, I that's the one issue, is that you're homebound for some reason. And it's not even explained. They're just like, yeah, you're homebound. But other than that, I have put a fair amount of time into potion craft. Let's see, how many hours have I put in at this point? 9 hours. And considering that I only started playing it like this month, I think maybe end of January, not bad, not bad. So yeah, that's potion craft. And then we did Princess Farmer. Despite having farmer in the name, potion craft is more of a farming game than Princess Farmer. Because in potion craft, you're at least watering your vegetables in your herbs and stuff in the backyard, mushrooms and things. Princess Farmer is a match 3 game. It's a glorified match 3 game. I usually like match 3 games. I didn't like this one as much. It has too much, oh my god, you did it, flash, flash. And I'm like, I can't even see the match that I made. Like, can you get all that stuff off the screen so I can see what I did? And it has timed aspects, and it seemed like maybe there was a little bit of a plot. Honestly, it just seemed like it was made for kids. Like, it was very cutesy, and it just wasn't my jam. But seemed okay, I guess. It's just not my thing. And then today we played Project Chemistry, which failed as both a game and an educational tool, because the interface is not good. And I see that someone has commented. Oh my god. Sorry. Chat's being stupid. Chat is being stupid. Chat is being stupid. Oh my god. Okay. Cool Stuff says, hi. Do you have a story when people were walking in a line and someone suddenly stopped walking and everyone bumped into each other? Not anything specific. But yeah, that's a thing that happens sometimes. Um, but yeah. So those were the games beginning with P. And next we have games beginning with Q. There are only 2 of them. So maybe we'll do Q and R at the same time, perhaps. I don't know. But for now, I am going to swap over to some Magic the Gathering. So, I will be right back.